I see you hovering your mouse over the checkout button on the Disney World website. You are all ready to commit to a hotel room that's going to become your home away from home. But before you make that final click of confirmation, watch this video and make sure that the room you're about to purchase isn't actually going to be the worst decision of your 2025 vacation. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. So when you're choosing a Disney hotel, you've got one shot to get it right. You are spending so much money on that hotel room. Let's make sure it's good. When things are that serious, you want an expert in your corner, one who's stayed at literally every Disney World hotel multiple times. So you're in the right place. I've stayed at them all, different views, different rooms, different buildings, different long hallway walks at the end of the night. So you are in good hands. Now, before we get started, I just want to prepare you. Disney World has a lot of different hotels, and the hotel that works for one family may not work for another family. So if you want a full Disney World hotel guide to refer back to later that details all the different Disney World hotels, along with every resort's major pros and cons, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or head to disneyfoodblog.com/hotels, and we're going to send one your way for free. All right, are you ready? These are the worst hotels for people who love or need naps. Now, I'm getting sleepy just thinking about this first point. AJ the Soda Goblin emerges from the depths once more to scavenge for a Diet Coke caffeine booster. While some of y'all out there might be going, naps on a Disney vacation? As if. I know there are several others of us out there who absolutely require an afternoon cat nap or have kids that need an afternoon cat nap so that we or they are not rendered useless for the rest of the night. And this may be especially true for parents who've got babies and toddlers, younger kids who are going to be a nightmare if they don't get their daily nap squeezed into their schedule. And then they're going to cry and throw a fit, and you're not going to be able to eat at that restaurant you've been looking forward to because you're going to have to take them out. You know how it is. So which Disney World hotels are going to be the worst for those who need to factor in nap time during their day? Well, you got two categories to consider here. The first has to do with noise levels. If there's going to be construction going on around your resort, usually the bulk of that work is going to be reserved for the afternoon, when most folks will be at the parks. And since the Bay Lake Tower over at Disney's Contemporary Resort will be undergoing major renovations from September 2024 to September 2025, there's a good chance that all the beeping and sawing and hammering might end up disturbing your slumber. The rooms in the Contemporary main tower won't be undergoing the same intensive refurbs, but the closer your room is to the monorail station that goes through the center of the resort, the more foot traffic you're going to have passing by your room all day long. So you might want to put in a request to have your room higher in the tower rather than lower if you've got your heart set on staying in one of those Incredibles themed rooms. Something similar can be said for Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. The Disney World website warns guests that the hotel is currently undergoing refurbishment, so guests are going to be able to see and hear construction around the resort, including in the lobby during daytime hours. We're not sure when these renovations are scheduled to wrap, so you just need to be aware that they could still be in full effect during your 2025 stay. If you ever want to see if the resort you're planning on staying at has any extended refurbs scheduled for the future, just head to that resort's main page on the Disney World website. All construction notices and lengthy closures will be listed toward the top of the page in bold orange text. If you're looking for a nice, peaceful, and super quiet Disney hotel stay, Disney Vacation Club villas like the Fort Wilderness Cabins, Old Key West, and Saratoga Springs tend to be away from all the excessive foot traffic and are also construction free for the time being. But Port Orleans Riverside and French Quarter provide more moderate price points for rooms that can be equally as serene. Now, the second category in our nap-related worst hotels is distance. While one of the advantages of staying at a Disney-owned resort is being close to the parks all vacation long, that promised benefit can be misleading, especially if you're staying at a resort more toward the Animal Kingdom area like Coronado Springs, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and the All-Star resorts. Sure, you're going to be close to Animal Kingdom, but you're going to be further away from all the other parks, and you'll only have bus transportation to rely on to get you back and forth, unless you decide to splurge on a ride share or you've got your own vehicle. So what should have been a quick in and out nap might turn into a whole multi-hour long endeavor when you get Disney's bus transportation involved, and that ends up eating a huge chunk out of your park day. The Magic Kingdom area resorts like Polynesian Village, Grand Floridian, Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, and Fort Wilderness can be solid options for those who want to stay close to the Magic Kingdom at all times. But like I mentioned earlier, the monorail system that goes through Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary can wind up making these resorts a little noisier during the day, since they'll be toting around thousands of Disney guests place to place and not just resort guests. But the Skyliner hotels like Caribbean Beach, Riviera, Art of Animation, and Pop Century are also a convenient sky gondola ride away from Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Oh, and then there's the Epcot area hotels like Boardwalk Inn and Yacht and Beach Club, which are literally located in Epcot's backyard. You can walk straight up to the park and through the International Gateway from any of these 3 resorts. So you might prefer staying at a Skyliner resort instead, especially since the Skyliner stations are generally further away from the hotel rooms themselves, and traveling to and from your Skyliner resort in the middle of the day is going to be a lot less crowded than going at the beginning or the end of the day, so it should be easy to get back for a nap and then get back to the park. But it's also worth noting that Pop Century can get a little noisier at times simply because it's the hotel that can hold the most people at one time, 2,880 rooms. That means if filled to capacity, you're looking at 2,880 families coming and going from this value resort all day long. If you're planning on staying here, you might want to request a room that's in the 50s or 70s building, because that way you're not extremely far away from the Skyliner station like you would be in the 80s and 90s, but you're also not in the middle of the most foot traffic action like you would be if you're staying in one of the 60s rooms, which are closest to the main pool area and hotel lobby. But if I'm being real with you, any Disney World hotel could technically become a bad napping hotel if you're in the wrong spot. While some folks love having rooms next to the feature pools at their resorts so they can easily walk over to take a dip and then easily head on back to their room again without having to walk across the entire hotel grounds, those preferred pool rooms tend to get very loud during the day since you're going to be super close to excited kids, lots of music and splashing, and the activities being narrated through microphones and megaphones. So if naps really are important to your Disney day, you might want to think twice about booking a room near all the splishin' and splashin' or a pool view or something like that. You might even want to put in an extra request to be placed away from the pool action. Now, how about the hotels that are worst for those who want to escape the crowds? Now, these are the folks who have no time for naps because we've got more crowds that we need to escape. Even if you're not planning on taking a nap during your Disney Park day, you might still want to book a hotel room that's not so people-y, which is more than likely going to be the opposite case for Polynesian Village in 2025, especially once their new DVC area, Island Tower, opens up on December 17th, 2024. You know people in their FOMO. If there's something new to check out, then they're going to want to check it out. And we're part of that same boat too. So even guests who aren't planning on booking hotel rooms there might still be coming on over to see the tropical designs adorning the new lobby. Or eating at the brand new Wailulu Bar and Grill, which will have breathtaking views of the Seven Seas Lagoon and Cinderella Castle at Magic Kingdom Park. That is according to Disney, of course. I haven't been in there. But it will be a casual walk-up pool bar and grill. It's going to feature an all-day menu for lunch and dinner. Now that's fun stuff, but maybe not the best place to stay if you'd rather the theme park crowds not follow you home like a hitchhiking ghost. If you're on the hunt for someplace a little more remote but still offers good dining and good vibes, Wilderness Lodge is going to put you in the Magic Kingdom area without the extra crowd surges. Yeah, it can be a bummer to not have the monorail going through your resort, but it can also be a secret blessing since this deluxe hotel tends to be a whole lot more peaceful through the mornings, afternoons, and evenings. Not to mention, you've got a lot of stellar dining options to choose from here, like the character dining experience, Storybook Dining at Artist Point with Snow White. Please get the prime rib when you're there. You've got the dual quick service and pool bar, Geyser Point Bar and Grill. Great place for kind of like a twilight meal. There's the interactive family-style Whispering Canyon Cafe, the rustic Roaring Fork quick service, and the most peaceful place of them all, Territory Lounge. Well, it's peaceful before the crowds get there at night. And if you want to ride on over to the Magic Kingdom, you not only have the buses, but you also can take a water taxi to and from the park as well. But I will tell you, I tend to choose the bus over the water taxi because nobody else does, which means it's usually not that crowded. Speaking of crowds. Now, might I also recommend a more affordable yet still luxurious and peaceful option? Because Grand Destino Tower in Disney's Coronado Springs is one of my go-tos when I just want to get away from the masses. I know I mentioned earlier that Coronado is kind of far out there, so it's not the best option necessarily when you're looking for a speedy afternoon nap. That being said, the distance might actually play in your favor in this case, since not as many folks are going to make the trek out this direction if it takes them further from the parks. Not to mention, if you're staying at Grand Destino, the bus situation might not be as grueling for you as other sections around this resort. So something you need to know about Coronado Springs, as well as many other Disney hotels that tend to be a whole lot more spread out, is that the buses use an internal bus loop to make multiple stops around the whole resort. And that's great and all when you don't want to make a huge trek over to the bus stop, since you're always going to be guaranteed one near your building. But depending on how the bus loop works, if your station is fixed toward the end of the loop, then those buses could get filled before they reach you. And that means you could wind up waiting longer than you expected to on a ride. That being said, if you're staying at Gran Destino, the first bus station stop is right outside your building. It's going to be the first stop on that Coronado Springs loop. Not saying that the bus can't still fill up before you're next in line, but at least you'll know that the buses coming for you haven't already made their way around the entire resort before reaching your stop. Oh, and let's not forget about the many, many, many food and drink offerings around Gran Destino and Coronado Springs that are super underrated. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, don't know about the great places to eat and drink around Coronado Springs Resort, and so they don't go out there and do it, which means it's all yours. My favorite place here to escape the crowds and have an incredible experience with an awesome view is Dahlia Lounge. This is the lounge for the Toledo restaurant on top of Gran Destino Tower. Again, nobody knows this place is here. They never go there. You can see the fireworks from here. It's an incredible spot. It's beautiful, lots of great drinks. Please go and enjoy. I hope you do. I also love the Three Bridges Bar and Grill. This is kind of out in the middle of Lago Dorado, which is the lake in the middle of Coronado Springs. It's a wonderful spot, but I have been hearing from a lot of viewers and readers that it's been getting a little bit crowded, so maybe this one's a little bit more above the radar than we thought. This is also where you can do that Sangria University, and that's super fun. Other spots to eat at Coronado Springs include the Barcelona Lounge, which is kind of down in the ground level of Gran Destino Tower. Again, another place nobody really knows about, but it's beautiful. The Siesta Cantina over at the pool, the Maya Grill. Don't highly recommend this one, but if you want good margaritas, this is a good place to go. Then you've got El Mercado de Coronado. This is the quick service spot, but you can also get Dole Whip here, just a heads up. And of course, the Margarita Happy Laguna Bar. Now, if I'm not careful, I'm going to derail and wind up making this video all about food, but if you're eager to keep the Disney food conversation going, like I am, be sure to check out our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. That's over on dfbstore.com. If you've already gotten this guidebook and you loved it, please let us know in the comments. If you've gotten this guidebook and you hated it, please let us know by email so that we can give you your money back. But I hope you loved it. Anyway, this is not where we just cover Disney hotel restaurants, but all the restaurants on property. You get all of my tips from the past, how old am I? A bajillion years old, 40 years of going to Disney World. I think my first trip was when I was 5. So much detail and the detail of all of my team too, who are incredible experts on Disney World, Disney hotels, Disney food. So we have combined all of our knowledge and it's all in there. So head over to dfbstore.com, check out our guidebooks. DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining is our big one, and grab it. Again, 100% money back guarantee. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. We'll get you your money back. Oh, and don't forget to type in code YouTube to save some extra money on your purchase. Now, how about those hotels that are the worst for being outdated? When you book a Disney hotel room, you're probably looking for the wow factor to go along with it. So when you step inside your Disney hotel room for the first time and it's obvious your room hasn't been given any TLC for going on several years now, it can be really disappointing, especially seeing how much money you're paying for it. Now, take Art of Animation's Little Mermaid rooms. I hate to drag these rooms because they are cute and under the sea themed and the most affordable of the Art of Animation room options, but they really haven't had an upgrade since the resort opened in 2012. Meanwhile, all the other standard value hotel rooms over at the All-Star Resorts and Pop Century have been updated to include new flooring and decor, as well as queen-size table beds for most rooms, which can either fold out to make a bed or fold into the wall to make a table and give your group more space to spread out during the day. Meanwhile, poor Ariel and Flounder have yet to receive the same kind of updates, yet you're still more than likely going to be paying more for a standard room at Art of Animation, simply for that Little Mermaid theming alone. And of course, that Skyliner access. Good news though, Under the Sea friends, if you want an updated room with more space to spread out, you don't have to completely ditch the Little Mermaid theming. You can book a 5th sleeper room over at Caribbean Beach Resort, which now has Little Mermaid themed rooms in place of the pirate rooms that used to be available here. There are 2 major catches to this though. First one, typically you'll be paying more for a Little Mermaid room here versus a Little Mermaid room at Art of Animation, since Caribbean Beach is a moderately priced resort and still has Skyliner access. And the second catch catch, these Little Mermaid rooms aren't 100% guarantee. Here, let me show you the room rates page real quick. See, you've got the option of a 5th sleeper room, but there's no Little Mermaid specific option, which isn't great considering not all the 5th sleeper rooms here have been transformed by that Under the Sea theming. The silver lining of this is that the Disney website has listed a couple of ways to help improve your chances of getting placed in a Little Mermaid room over at Caribbean Beach. After you book a 5th sleeper room, use either the online chat feature or call Disney World Reservations, that's 407-934-7639, to add a little note onto your reservation that you'd prefer a Little Mermaid themed room. Next, when doing online check-in, you'll have the option to choose either Old Port Royal or the Disney Skyliner as a room location. Choose the Skyliner since the Little Mermaid rooms are not located in the Old Port Royal section of the resort. And finally, try to arrive at Caribbean Beach early, before your 3 p.m. check-in time, so you can stop by the front desk to confirm your request. While these steps won't flat out guarantee you a Little Mermaid room, they'll definitely improve your chances versus leaving it all to the throw of a dart. Now, what's worst for those looking forward to the pools? Bad news, hotel pool fans. 3 resorts so far will be experiencing extended pool closures in 2025, and that might just make or break whether you decide to book a room at these spots or not. First up on the list, the Fantasia Pool at Disney's All-Star Movies Resort will be closed from January 2025 to April 2025. And while we're going to miss the Sorcerer Mickey spraying water out at us with his magic, guests can still swim at the resort's other leisure pool, the Duck Pound Pool, as well as the feature pools at the neighboring All-Star Resort hotels. But the bigger pool closure you're going to want to be aware of is, of course, Stormalong Bay and Shipwreck Pool at Yacht and Beach Club. We love Stormalong Bay, y'all, because it's more than just a pool. It's practically a mini water park with over 3 acres of sunshiny fun, featuring the highest Disney resort water slide at 230 feet, a lazy river, 3 whirlpool spas, and a sand bottom pool area. Now, if you've been watching DFB Guide for a long time, you know we're going to talk about this over and over and over again, because the last thing I want you to do is spend that kind of money to stay at the hotel for this pool and not be able to use it. So I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but this is important for folks who are really thinking about staying at Yacht or Beach Club in order to swim in this pool. Now, Stormalong is going to be out of commission for the first part of 2025 from January to June for routine maintenance. So if Stormalong was a key reason you were going to stay, rethink your plans. Heads up on these kind of dates that they're giving. It is very, very possible, we've seen it happen a couple times this year with food court renovations at the resorts, that they'll give you an end date and then they'll extend it. So Pop Century Food Court was supposed to reopen in September. It is now October and it's supposed to be closed now until November. But our initial warnings were just till September. And so there may be people who are booked there for a couple of months here and they're not going to be able to go. So heads up on these pool dates. Those can be extended. So don't think that if you book, July 1st at Stormalong Bay, that you're for sure going to be able to swim there. Give yourself an extra couple of months just in case things go awry and they have to extend. Now, where are we going to get our water park fix? Hold on to your keisters. Things are about to get really good. Starting in 2025, all Disney hotel guests, not just the deluxe guests, but the value and moderate resorts too, will be able to visit one of Disney World's water parks for free on the day you check into your hotel. So plan to get into the Disney bubble early so that you can take advantage of this free perk as soon as you arrive. Remember, your room doesn't have to be ready yet if you want to go on over and start enjoying the water slides and lazy rivers and wave pools ASAP. You're more than welcome to drop off your luggage at your hotel's Bell Services desk and make a beeline to the water parks for a fun-filled day of swimming and sliding and sunbathing. Okay, what hotels are the worst for those looking for a good deal? And that's pretty much all of us, right? Right. Okay, we're already seeing savings opportunities for 2025 Disney hotel stays pop up on the special offers page over on the Disney World website. And we love that because paying full price for a hotel room is so out of style. We tell you that all the time, y'all. Do not pay rack rate for a Disney World hotel room. You don't have to. There's always going to be a discount. But before you rely on a certain discount that you found online that'll help you save potentially hundreds on your upcoming stay, make sure you read the fine print. Disney doesn't say this in bold, but not every discount can be applied to every Disney hotel stay. For example, let's look at the current 2025 discount where you can save 25% on hotel rooms throughout the year. First and foremost, take note of the up to 25% promise for this deal. This means only a handful of hotels will actually give you the chance to save that 25% full discount on your stay. Those are going to be the deluxe resorts. Meanwhile, moderate and value hotels will have savings that range between 10 and 20%, depending on what type of room you choose and when you're planning on taking your vacation. Basically, the more you spend, the more you're going to save. But hold up, when it comes to select Disney hotel rooms, you won't be able to apply a 25% discount, or a 20% one, or even a 10% one. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and find the important details section to track down which resorts are excluded from the promotion. Exclusions will vary depending on the promotion, but for this one specifically, you won't be able to apply it to the Fort Wilderness campsites, all 3-bedroom villas and deluxe suites, the cabins at Copper Creek Villas, and the cabins at Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Also the Tower Studios at Riviera Resort, and the bungalows and Island Tower 2-bedroom penthouses at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Disney discounts can be sneaky when it comes to the fine print. That's why it's nice to have a reliable and free travel agent like our friends at Small World Vacations who are going to read all the details for you. Small World can lock in the cheapest price point without you having to lift a finger. Plus, they can help you iron out the rest of your vacation details too. So if you want to reach out to them for a free quote, I'll link their info down in the description. Now, this is an interesting one, but I'm going to throw it in here anyway, just because more and more people are experiencing this. Which hotels are worst for remote workers? I know, who wants to talk about work when you're on vacation, right? But for a lot of us, the fact that we can work when we're on vacation means we can take more vacations. And in this day and age, when working from home is a way of life for a lot of us, being able to stay at a resort where we can easily set up our laptops and knock out some work or voiceovers before jumping back into the fun isn't just preferable, but crucial.
Hey everyone, DFB Bria here. I thought I'd jump on real quick because I've got a lot of personal experience with this one. I go down to Florida quite a few times each year for work, and while I'm there, oftentimes I have to set up a little area for myself so I can knock out a YouTube script or two. And that means I'm going to avoid hotels that don't have a cozy little area where I can hear myself think. So sorry, value resorts. You know I love you, but y'all are not made for remote workers. Which, hey, that makes sense considering they're more family-oriented with bright, bold colors, lots of characters, and food court-style setup dining. But if I'm writing a script, these are the 3 resorts I tend to gravitate to for some peace and quiet. Office number 1, Riviera. I jump between 2 places around the Riviera when I'm working. If I want an afternoon pick-me-up, I'll swing by the Le Petit Cafe and then set up my workstation just around the corner inside the Voyagers Lounge. Or if I want to treat myself to a little drink and bite to eat, I'll tuck away into a corner at Bar Riva, which is like one of the most underrated pool bars in Disney World. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm cool with keeping it as my own little work oasis, unless you want to join me. Office number 2, Boardwalk Inn. The easy breezy vibes are immaculate at Boardwalk Inn, but if you want the most peaceful escape to get your creative juices flowing, you're going to want to hit up Bellevue Lounge. Bellevue Lounge is typically open between 4 p.m. to midnight, and if you want to sneak in a little people watching during your workday, you can take your work out onto the lounge's balcony for some much needed fresh air. And office number 3, Wilderness Lodge. Literally, I could just wrap myself up in the peace and serenity that is Wilderness Lodge. And I know we've already talked about how chill Territory Lounge is, but if you didn't want to pay for food and you're just looking for a relaxing spot to tap away on your portable keyboard, I'd recommend checking out the Carolwood Pacific Railroad Room at the Boulder Ridge Villas. This room is dedicated to Walt Disney's love of trains and has plenty of chairs and tables for you to claim for the afternoon. And for the record, don't feel like you absolutely have to book a room at one of those deluxe resorts in order to take advantage of their workspaces. Despite the value resorts not being the greatest when it comes to providing remote work areas, you can still book a room at, say, Pop Century or Art of Animation and then hop aboard the Skyliner to ride over to a much more work-from-home friendly resort.
And I agree with Bria. I do a lot of work when I'm at the hotels as well. And most of what I do is voiceovers. So I can't necessarily go and sit to the side and write. I'm doing voiceovers a lot of the time. So I have to set up in the hotel room. So it's always good to make sure you've got that table and chairs, that desk, something like that, that you're going to be able to get that work done. Now, which are the hotels that are the worst for those who want to ditch Disney? Could it be possible that the worst Disney hotel for you to stay in is all of them? Maybe. It depends on where your priorities lie in 2025. So next year, Universal Orlando is going to be opening their 3rd park gate, Epic Universe. It's opening in May. So your theme park allegiances might start to waver, or maybe you'll just take a step out to check that out. Along with the new theme park, Universal is going to be opening 3 new hotels close to Epic Universe. 2 of those will be value resorts, Universal Stella Nova and Universal Terra Luna. Stella Nova is inspired by distant galaxies, new stars, and mysterious black holes. Terra Luna is inspired by the massive and diverse planetary elements of the universe. So prices for these hotels will start at $189 to $210 per night, though prices will vary depending on when you stay. And then there's the new Premier Hotel, Universal Helios Grand Hotel, which is heavily influenced by Mediterranean culture and decor that's similar to what you'll find in the Epic Universe hub, Celestial Park. Speaking of Celestial Park, the really cool thing about Helios, aside from all its different dining amenities and how to train your dragon-themed rooms, is that this resort will have a dedicated entrance to Epic Universe to provide direct, convenient access to and from the theme park, just as long as you got a valid theme park ticket, of course. And on top of Universal's new hotels they're getting ready to open, Universal's also got a whole lineup of other resorts for you to choose from, which will keep you close to the Universal parks and give you exclusive Universal perks as well. Note, with Universal's new Premier Helios Grand Hotel, you won't receive complimentary express passes like you will at Universal's other Premier hotels. I know, right? But you will still receive perks like early park entrance on select days, complimentary shuttle service around property, and free merchandise delivery. But that's a huge bummer. No express passes? Come on. Might be tough to break away from the Disney bubble, but if the bulk of your vacation will be happening on Universal grounds and you're only going to be spending a day or 2 inside the Disney parks, then it might make more sense for you to choose one of Universal's resorts instead. Or you can have the best of both worlds, if you don't mind having to pack up and go to another resort, by doing a split stay. Stay at a Universal hotel when you're busy doing Universal things, and then move to a Disney hotel when you're ready to do Disney things. If you choose this path, I'd recommend starting at a Universal resort and then transferring to a Disney hotel after that. That way, you'll already be in the Orlando area when it's time for you to switch over, and you can take advantage of your free Disney Water Park perk ASAP on your check-in day. So let's do something fun in the comments before we wrap up here. Whether you've been to Disney World yet or you're getting ready to go for your first time ever, let me know what you think is the best themed Disney World resort of them all. Hard to narrow it down, I know, but I believe in you. And if you need a cheat sheet to look over before you lock in your final answer, don't forget about our free Disney World hotel guide. It's over at disneyfoodblog.com/hotels. It's going to give you a free, full recap of every single hotel in Disney World. Just what you're after, just what you need to start making this important decision. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.